No, another one. Here you go. It has a fragrance, you know. Nice, yeah. She must have put something on it, no?
I think they put something.
Yeah. No, she made it. His wife made it.
But still is
She made every single one of these. She crocheted them. Yeah, this is bizarre, you know. Yeah. Okay. Another one. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Maybe we can remove the prasad and bring the table. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Can I chat? Okay. But first off, we want to go online here. Okay. That's a good idea. Okay. Then we go ahead for join session. Okay. And turn the microphone on. Okay.
Not doing it. We can put it here and put it on.
Yeah. Hold it. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Why don't you start the Kirtan, Maharaj?
I will do that.
The Mataji wants to sing the Jayaradha.
Well, okay.
Afterwards.
You got a, where's hey, you got a Phillips screwdriver?
Huh?
You got a Phillips screwdriver. See, he's got everything.
I can grab it out of my room.
Oh, okay.
Might be able to make this work.
Yeah.
No, even the flat one won't work.
Yeah. I told you.
How's a finding a point?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not slotted.
Yeah.
No, there is no this thing. Flat.
This side is okay. Yeah, that's
No, you need a screwdriver.
you have.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you click it.
Yeah?
What is it? What?
No, because then it'll fall out.
He wants. Yeah.
Yeah, this way. We got it. I've done this before, millions of times.
It says to be. I don't know how much.
Okay, now I want to pick this up. I want to rotate this thing a few times. Okay, there we go. It's a science. Okay, hang on. That.
There's a lost.
Okay.
Okay. Is it home?
Thank God. If you get the screwdriver, it's better. Yeah. Haribol. Haribol.
I have.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay, why not? Vandeham Shri Gurau Shri Yuta Padakamalam Vandeham Shri Gurau Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sadvaitam Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sadvaitam Saham Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahalalita Shri Vishaka Ambitam Cha Shri Vishaka Ambitam Cha Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Whoa! Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya. Jai Govinda, Jai Gopal. Jai Govinda, Jai Gopal. Radha Govinda, Radha Gopala. Radha Govinda, Radha Gopala. Jai Govinda, Jai Gopala. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Shamasundar ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Astasaki. Radha, who's in Mayapur? Radha Madhava. Radha Madhava Astasaki ki jai. Jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We were born in the darkness of ignorance. No? We're the babies. Yeah. Yeah. And our spiritual master has opened our eyes with the torchlight of knowledge, but actually it's the ointment of something, right? Yeah. Offer obeisances to him, Guru Tattva. So it's been very, very interesting program. Yeah. We were where to start? We'll start in Richmond. Why not? Before that, we're coming. Where did we come? How did we get to Richmond? Where's the boss? You know. Yeah. How did we get to Richmond last time?
Very first, right now is.
No, how did we get to Richmond last time we were there? How did I get there?
Oh, you came from India to Madrid, Madrid to New York, New York to.
How did I get from New York to Richmond?
We fly, but it's a super cold night with standing outside,
Yeah.
freezing kind of.
So coming from India and everything else, and
like, the body
Madrid, yeah. And then we had to say goodbye to our traveling companions, right? From
Yes.
Madrid, right?
Yeah.
De Madrid, estuvimos viajando juntos. Sí, yeah. So, adios. Yeah. We stayed in different hotels. Yeah. So it was interesting. Everywhere together again.
Yes.
So then we came from Radhakund to Madrid, very cold. It was stress on the body, continuous. I knew it was like people had heaters and stuff, but it was, it wasn't, And we came to finally, oh my God, it was incredible. We finally made it to New York, survived, And we had all the complications getting down to Richmond. Then we were at Richmond, very nice program. And then I was programmed to leave my body on December 23rd, something like that. Yeah, because somebody a long time ago, they said, "Oh, Hanuman Swami will never fall down." 30 years ago or something said, "Well, I'm going to fall down when I'm 76 years old," something like that, And so 76 years old is coming up. Okay. And when was it? Took initiation 1974 on November 23rd or something. And then I was taking initiation, sannyasa initiation from Swarup Damodar Maharaj in Hyderabad. The date was strange. I looked at it. It was 10 years later, within 2 days. So you had three ladies are running out, one baby crying, and 3 ladies are going. Yeah. So it was his Vyasa Puja, which is Odana Shasti. But it was exactly 10 years later to the day, taking sannyas, and seemed very organized. Okay, so 74, 84. Then in, what happened in 94? Yeah, 94 on his Vyasa Puja again, I did the first initiation ceremonies, okay. 2004, again, I told you that story. We were forced to start NEOS. It was kind of like, this is your external body. Okay, yeah, okay. So 2012, 24. Every single time I kept sending a request to the head office to be able to leave. You know. The first time I went to Vrindavan was in 1978. It was the first Theravada festival for Srila Prabhupada. It was very interesting, you know, it's a whole separate story. But it was almost nobody coming. Some people were going for Gaur Purnima, but almost nobody coming for, you know, for Kartik. So it was very interesting, intense program being there. But Prabhupada Samadhi was like, you know, it was like, what's that guy, Doctor Who? There's this British science fiction thing, something Who. And anyway, his spaceship looks like a telephone booth from the outside. So Prabhupada Samadhi in 1978, there was nothing in front of the temple. It was this open space. And then Prabhupada's Samadhi booth was a telephone booth, basically. So Prabhupada's Mangal Arati would come out and stand in front of the Pujari, would open up the telephone booth and a picture of Prabhupada inside. And that was the Samadhi at that time. There were no motor rickshaws in 78, you know. It was very interesting. It was different and very simple. You know? So somehow or other, you know, we were visiting for the first Samadhi program, and everybody was, you know, we're the Hare Krishna movement, Bhagavan, Hansaduta, Jayatirtha, all over the world, spreading everything so powerful, and you know, and now we are Hare Kirtan Pod, Vishnu Pod, was it Acharya Pod? You know, everybody was just trying to figure out what was going on. Very difficult. But even within 1 year, because within 1 year, if you didn't see Prabhupada for 1 year, that was kind of, yeah, because he's traveling all over the place. So it wasn't like something which really touched you that much. Okay, we'll see him here and there, you know, in the festival. But at the end of 1 year, it was really starting to sink in that Prabhupada just wasn't someplace else. Right? You know, yeah, Prabhupada's gone. It was like, wow, it's like this, you know, reaching nearly intelligence in the level of the heart, not just the mind. So really, the first Samadhi festival, you know, Theravada festival, was a really intense program and stuff. You know? So many things. Like how much time I should do for this. But anyway, then they had the first polyethylene or whatever they are, models of Prabhupada. These deities of Prabhupada, the big ones. The first ones were being produced and out of this synthetics and stuff. You know, so lifelike. And in Loy Bazaar, there was electricity sometimes and sometimes not. So just in time for the festival, one of these arrived from the U.S. and they made up one of these little push carts they have in India for flowers. And they took it around in the evening to visit all the temples of India. Now, to the Brij Basi, and all of a sudden, all the Brij Basis start coming and just with offering camphor and what's going on, you know. Then we heard that the news had spread that Swamiji had come back from Samadhi. And honestly speaking, at that time and that kind of light and everything else, I mean, you could not distinguish who was alive or not. Then for days after that, Brij Basis would come in and sit in front of Prabhupada on the altar and like, you know, watching, you know, if he was blinking or not, and touching him and stuff. Because, you know, the technology was very simple then and so on. So it was a very interesting program with, you know, Prabhupada's disappearance and the perspective on that and stuff in Guru Tattva. And again, it was very confusing. I mentioned this, that Krishna is fighting with Kaliya, right? And all the Brij Basis hear about this, and they run down to the bank of the Jamuna, and they're all going to enter into the Jamuna to save Krishna. Of course, they're going to die before they get halfway there. So Balaram, who is Guru, sacrifices his bhava and ecstasy to remember who Krishna is, and he extends his arms like, you know, 150 feet or something and stops everybody. And he's Balaram, he's Dauji and stuff, so he stops them all, you know, and tells them, he said, don't, you know, there's no problem. Like, you know, I know who Krishna is. You know? Yeah, so even in Goloka, right, there's still Guru Tattva, right? Balaram is still, you know, like it doesn't disappear, but now it goes on a level of this rasa. You can imagine that Radha and Krishna, little Radha and little Krishna meet for the first time, you know, like that. Oh, do you like strawberry ice cream? Oh, I love strawberry ice cream. You know, it's like, you know, as they're meeting for the first time, it's this intense program. Then the big brother, you know, Balaram is thinking, this is going a little too fast. He says, Krishna, you know, I think it's time the cows need to go home and get milked. And Radha is saying, Balaram, can't Krishna stay a little longer? He says, don't worry, we'll come back tomorrow, I promise. So you see that Guru and Guru Tattva is like, it's unlimited, you know. It's all we can hope for is a practical working understanding. That's what we're aiming at in life, is a practical working understanding. We're not trying to understand everything. That's another yoga. Our yoga is how we can be situated in service, and some knowledge required. So anyway, we were passing through here, and heading to Texas, and I was supposed to, according to the omen from the sky, was supposed to leave my body at 76 years old. And then astrologers said the same thing. And he said, when you're whatever this age and stuff. And so then I was thinking, okay, this is the same day, and why not? This is a good day to leave. Auspicious. If I leave that day, it's really auspicious. Wow, Hanumatpresaka Swami left on his appearance day. Wow, like that famous guy. These are the kind of prestige things you get in ISKCON. And devotees, other people want other kinds of prestige, right? But devotees want, he did this and that, yeah. And the third thing was that before I was going to get a doctor, how many doctors you get? 15 doctors here, okay, whatever, I was having arrhythmias, right? Not for a long time, And so one time we were in Texas, Mother Guru Bhakti, a doctor for many, many years and stuff. Okay, so she put us on the, this machine to measure your heart thing. It was interesting because it was this big block thing with a cassette tape in it and stuff. So I had to walk around with that for 3 days with this whole thing, And then they got the results back, and she said, yeah, you're having arrhythmias from the top of the heart, not from the bottom of the heart, right? And she said, that's not so dangerous. She said, girls have it every time they fall in love. like that, they miss me. She said that. So not to worry about it. She said, but your white cell count is just terrible. You should go on this kind of medication. But we were leaving to Peru. So as soon as we landed in Peru, Rupanuga was there, Ayurvedic doctor. He looked at me, he said, stick out your tongue. Let me see your eyes, feel your pulse. So he gave exactly the same diagnosis without taking any blood or anything else. Ayurveda was just the same thing. His remedy was he put me on a mixture of aloe vera with sugar water. And it's like drinking sewer water or something. It just kills the heat, right? He said, the pitta is out of place, right? Then he gave me this broth with chopped up potatoes with ghee, salt, and you could feel it pulling the pitta back in where it's supposed to be. So Ayurveda was very interesting comparing the two. But anyway, okay, so we were supposed to, leave our body by mysticism and premonitions from the sky. And I was having the arrhythmias, and people said, just one time, Nitya Gaura Sundar, I was having him in the morning, went over to his house, he took my pulse, he said, try a little more salt at lunch. And they went away. Okay, so yeah, it wasn't a big deal. But then I gave the Sunday feast lecture, we arrived in Texas, and I started having fibrillation. It wasn't like lub-dub, 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 lub-dub. It was lub-dub-dub-dub-dub, right? Yeah. Is that dangerous? Yeah. Yeah. So I had Hari Balaba take my pulse, and immediately there were six more doctors surrounded me. They had the blood thinner from his wife. What's it called? It's a real common blood thinner. I was taking it, remember? Huh? Yeah. So they popped me on the Eliquis. Then they had me, had some devotees sleeping outside the door. And, they had a Dr. Suneja, a real nice guy, a cardiologist, really good guy. Next morning, they got an emergency thing to see him the day before Christmas. And somebody else, they had a devotee, Jaya Haridas, sleeping outside the door, But in case I had a heart attack and couldn't call out, there was a bell next to me, so I could ring the bell. So, hey, what do you know? My pulse was increased. So we came into his office, and he was a very interesting guy. He took time off to go see the inauguration of the Pope. He had like 7 different things around his arms. Very nice. And he and Mother Guru Bhakti had a good relation. So they waxed me up and did a quick scan and everything else. And he said, okay, well, the Eliquis looks like you're cool. And then we went into, so I didn't die on the, I guess I probably was scheduled to die, but then we had medical intervention, right? It's interesting, right? You get karma from that, right? Yeah. There was a devotee in Trans-Canadian Highway, eh? You know the Trans-Canadian Highway? Okay. So he was like maybe 5 miles out of the city, and he had 1 wife, 1 daughter, 1 duck, 1 horse, 1 cow, and I think 3 acres, Had a nice program. And every day he would go into the city, and the devotee had a picture business selling pictures, but the real money was framing. But it was it was very like grihasta thing, like good thing, chanting rounds. So her daughter, her best friend was had a mother, the father was gone someplace, and she was driving the ambulance, for the county, So one day this devotee, he told me, he was coming back on the Trans-Canadian Highway, which is, river on one side, cliff on the other, and all of a sudden the traffic slows down. And what it is, there's been an accident, so the police are having to go, okay, you guys go. And he's going by, it's the ambulance had been driven by his daughter's friend's mother, right? Driving the ambulance. And she'd been driving like about 45 miles an hour, and a rock this big, a rock about this big had fallen off of the cliff about 3 stories above at 45 miles an hour, came down, came through the front windshield and killed her. What are the chances of that? Yeah, but she was messing around with people's karma. Feel safe? Yeah. No, you're right. Somebody's scheduled to die, and you change it. So this is, karma is going on, and why things are happening. So anyway, the karma and dying. So Suneja said, okay, you're not going to die right away. Then he put us on again the heart monitor. But now the whole thing was, they're so small now, and everything else, they're remote controlled and radio controlled. It's just amazing, the technology. And with the Eliquis, we weren't having any of this and that. Then they put us on the scan in the hospital after 3 weeks. And after 2 months, they put us on the big scan. And they put us on the treadmill. The whole series. And he said, okay, he said, basically, we have minimum medication now, right? 4, was it Rosapolafen and Meto, the ones are standard. And 2 baby aspirin and Co4 or something, CO4. Yeah, they afford this basic minimum thing. And the Ayurvedic doctor and the other the allopathic doctors in ISKCON, they kind of have a non-aggression pact. It's kind of like, and they're appreciating it. It's just 2 different ways of dealing with it. Very good Ayurvedic doctor, very good. You met him, excellent. So anyway, their conclusion was, okay, we did the scans again. You're basically, as a mechanic, this kind of level, you're probably going to go taking this medication for at least 3 years, yearly checkup, maybe 5, and then maybe at that point you'll need a pacemaker. Sound good? Yeah. Yeah. So it's like a doctor, right? Okay. So then I was thinking, okay, I can't die, and so maybe we're gonna, I got another idea. Move the table. Okay. Bill Gates would hire me, not you. Yes. I move the table. Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of like how we're here, and then we're functioning as guru. And also, I just couldn't handle the karma anymore, because if you do any ritual ceremony, you do any ritual ceremony, Prabhupada says for anybody, wedding, Bhagavatam's haircutting, you take karma. Have you experienced that? Have you done some sacrifices? Yeah? Afterwards, do you cut your feet or things happen or something? No? Yeah, it works. Yeah. And so when you initiate people, and I started getting wiped out. I could try one more time, and God, it was just too much. So I guess maybe about 3 years ago, I stopped initiating people, And now anybody says, what about initiation? So I say, well, Radha Krishna, nice devotee in, in Houston. Yeah, we agree about 90% on the philosophy of guru and everything else. And 10%, that's close enough, right? Yeah. And he started initiating, and of course, why not? You should feel a little proud, right? Okay, I did this and that and something, So he would feel a little proud, Then it came time for his first Guru Puja, right? And then he really realized, God, this is work. In Houston, we did it twice there, and somebody, Srinivas was organizing it, and he said someone had donated $1,200 for the flowers. Right? This is Houston, right? In 6 days, God created the universe, right? On the 7th day, he rested, right? On the 8th day, he created Texas. There's a whole, I mean, there's a whole culture. There's a whole reason. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So anyway, everything there is big. I mean, the deities. How tall are the deities in Texas, right?
It's the biggest, one of the biggest ones.
In the United States, Nilamata. The pujaris Indian pujaris have to get on a ladder to dress them and stuff. And if you've seen their clothes, yeah, it's like, it's just unbelievable. But that's just karma, Texas, everything else. So anyway, we were, I was not initiating, giving second initiation, and offering sannyas. So Radha Krishna was sitting there, and the thing is, they had, we were there, we'd have flower vases this big, with flower arrangements on top, right? And I would be like up, the level of the chairs, and Prabhupada a little higher, and so many people, maybe, by the time it finally came off, I think it was about 500 people or something, and everybody coming up and making offerings and stuff. And so after a while, you realize that people have a hard time distinguishing which one of you is the flower vases and which one of you is the guru. Right? Because you're sitting there, like this for. And so I was feeling so much sadistic pleasure, like ha ha ha, like that. Yeah. So it's a formality, especially Prabhupada. Was it Kiba Vipra, Kiba Shudra. Kiba Vipra Kiba Nasi Shudra Kenanaya Se Krishna Tattva Vete Ye Krishna Ye Guru Haya. Close enough, right? Yeah. Very, very super famous verse. Then the purport, of course, is incredible, And then Prabhupada, he defines Diksha Guru as that person who initiates according to the rituals. Yeah. Okay, so who's the Diksha Guru, Prabhupada or me? Well, I'm initiating according to the rituals. Okay, so I'm the Diksha Guru, in a sense, But then Prabhupada explains that in Upadeshamrita, he says, Kanista Adhikari and Madhyama Adhikari can both accept disciples, but, because of insufficient guidance, they will not be able to advance to the highest goal. Therefore, everyone should accept an Uttamakari Adhikari as a guru. And so that's what my understanding of Guru Tattva and everything else is, okay. But when Prabhupada, as far as I understand, they would send the beads after Prabhupada for him to chant on them, right? So Prabhupada's in Japan, so we sent 20 beads to Prabhupada to give names and chant on them. Prabhupada left and went to Tokyo to Delhi. The beads go on, and Prabhupada left from Delhi and went to London. So the beads were, So finally Prabhupada said, okay, Brahmananda, Bhagavan, Jayatirtha, he named people, these people can chant on the beads. So, Ritvik, Prabhupada never uses the term in any purports. So the Ritvik term for me is like, So they did. So then, before he left his body, Prabhupada was having other people chant on the beads, right? Yeah. And they would chant on the beads because they couldn't catch up with him, designated. And I think every single one of those became later on designated in the final letters to be gone as Ritvik Gurus. I think Pradyumna was selecting the names sometimes. Well, you can go through everybody in my initiation letter pretty much has names it looks like from the Rama Sahasranam, Satkrit, Hanumatpresaka, So it looks like Pradyumna was going down the Rama Sahasranam, matching it up. And then probably, telling Prabhupada this and that, And then we accept many, many unusual circumstances of Prabhupada giving names to people, and very unusual things connected. So it is like, it's a ritual, but, seems daivam prakritim ashritaha. So anyway, I think Pradyumna selected my name. Bhaktadas, my temple president, recommended me. That's why I got initiated. And then what else we got here? And then Jayatirtha chanted on the beads. So before Prabhupada ever left, and the same system is there, totally functional system. And even he's saying, don't change everything. Just keep the same system. So in some ways, that's the system. Prabhupada was very heavy. If anybody sent a letter out from the society without founder Acharya A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, you talk to people about how Prabhupada would react. They wouldn't sleep for 2 days or something. You are trying to take my position. So Prabhupada was very clear about what is his position in ISKCON. He is the founder Acharya. And then you have to just understand what that means. What does the founder Acharya do? He makes the foundation. By his own character, he establishes the thing, teaches, Okay, so Prabhupada, you find many things Prabhupada said, many instructions. Like, for example, of all the Western philosophers, who did Prabhupada say had the most sense? Carl Jung. Going through the whole dialectic spiritualism thing. He liked Socrates and he liked Jung. And everybody else in between, he was like arguing, about their ideas, But how many people have developed that? Okay, if he's the best Western philosopher in Western culture, then of course, through him, we can reach, so many people. So my nature, I got into it. It was just natural. And honestly speaking, I can, argue, discuss with the topmost psychologists in the world. I've done that. We've finally got to them and stuff and dealt with them. Okay, I have after 2 years, okay, we have yes, you're Swamiji, I can talk to him for 15 minutes. Bring him in. This is like the guy who translated the Red Book for his name in Latin America and other people, very big people, powerful, intelligent. After 2 hours, we both say, we got to stop talking, because suddenly we're realizing so many things and the connections in Prabhupada and Jung and Bhaktisiddhanta, and it's just really an unlimited area. But the number of people in ISKCON who are interested in this is like maybe 5 people. Somebody else. Everybody has their particular nature, fanaticism, so forth, so on. And that's what it means. At first initiation, sambandha. They pay, I work. You want a job with the bank? Yeah. What, am I going to be a security guard, a bank teller, a management stream, or, software consultant? I don't know. They pay, I work. Sambandha, right? Yeah. And then you start to get into the next level, where you figure out if you're a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, how ISKCON politics works compared to. Then you take second initiation, or you don't take it because you don't need it because you're a Shudra. Yeah? You just go on very happy. And then third initiation, sannyas. Do women take that? No, that's pretty clear. No contention about that. And then fourth initiation, fifth initiation. Do you know what 1,237th initiation is? That's when a manjari gets a cookie directly from the lips of Krishna. Wow. Yes. Okay, you ready for that? Yeah. That's a big deal, right? If you're 8 years old and Krishna takes a bite out of a cookie and gives it to you directly, But it's just, there's no limit being initiated into different levels of service and stuff, And you can fall. Upadeshamrita says, as soon as you become bimbious, you fall from the platform of Paramahamsa, like that and so on. Yeah, but different than somebody who's recuperating. So some perspective, we're just talking about the whole Guru Tattva program. And then, of course, the other side of the thing is Shiksha Guru. And so the Anjana Sutta Academy we're reading, and Prabhupada said, every sannyasi should be head of his own institution for preaching Krishna consciousness. Hey, you find specific instructions. General stuff is there in Prabhupada's books again and again. But then you find specific things which touch you, and even you, the Super Soul says, 5 years from now. Yeah. So that's when we started the Anjana Sutta Academy. Who is Anjana Sutta? Yeah, it's mentioned someplace. Okay, yeah. And it's esoteric. Who are the members of the Anjana Sutta Academy? Hanumatpresaka Swami, yeah. Tom Brown, Monkey, Buck White, Piggy, Uncle Gizmo. Yeah. And it's esoteric. It's internal. It's among a certain people and stuff, and it's more emphasis. Even Einstein, they quote him as saying, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." Yeah, Albert Einstein is saying, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." Yeah, and this is what Jnana, Dhyana. Yeah, this is our perspective. Radharani, how much does Radharani know? Can Radharani read or write? Yeah, Prabhupada says Nanda Maharaj could not read or write. He would hire some educated fool to do it for him. Yeah, yeah. How much are your employers making off of your work, right? Yeah, we give you 30%. We keep 60. Yeah, it's in Vaishya. Yeah. Then he says, what to speak of the girls, the girls. You know. But we have Chitraleka, Induleka. Yeah, what does that mean?
Chitraleka is like best painter of
Yeah,
street drawings.
yeah, but their handwriting is, yeah, so some of the gopis, the Brijbasis, could do this and that. But most of them were village girls. And they were, if Krishna goes to Mathura, what's going to happen? He's always been in the country and the farm with us, and we're able to control him and everything else. But if he goes to Mathura, what'll happen?
The city girls would
Huh?
he changes his personality.
What's going to happen? Huh? He's going to meet all these sophisticated girls. Yeah, we're village. They can do crossword puzzles. That's what it says. No, that's what they're saying. Oh, and my gosh, he's just gonna, what's gonna happen? We're gonna be lost. When he meets girls like this, he's never gonna want to come back and see us. And what have we got to offer? Some flower bracelets and some flower garlands, but they, so that was their. They don't know that much. Right? Other people know more than they do. So our thing is, service, bhakti, attitude, and so on. Yeah. And so then we started the Anjana Sudha Academy, for this esoteric work and the way we like to work and everything else. And, it's cool. And then it eventually came to the point where we need an exoteric organization also. So that is, which means?
American Institute for Oriental and Classical Studies.
I was trying to put it all together. It wasn't working out with the Vaisheshika and everybody in the East Coast and the different things. So I was lying on my back on the Brajnanda Parikrama after 5 or 6 days, when you're with 600 other people coughing or whatever at midnight. And suddenly I went into an iconographic mode out of the linear thinking. I could see all the elements there of, Nitai Gaur Sundar, this and everything else. And I could see them all and I could put them together. And then when I went back into a linear mode and I talked to Nitai Gaur Sundar, and I said, we should start a corporation here and everything else. And we should start a corporation to organize stuff. And I said, we can do it in San Francisco. And immediately sing, right? He said, no. I'm here. Kind of, I knew he would do that. Yeah, he's got, that's what he is. He's a nice, controlling person, a good person. Yeah. Prabhupada said, never trust a skinny cook. Right? Never trust a skinny cook, So never trust a humble Kshatriya, It's like, your job is, right? Yeah. So, you sing too, right? No? Yeah. So then we started, when we started, Krishna started Neos. And I was thinking about a name also, because in South America I was part of the Institute for Oriental and Occidental Classical Studies with Ricardo Palma University. And they made me a professor, so I can legitimately claim that I am a professor. Where? I'm a professor ad causes honoris. Well, okay, it's good enough. So I never got the PhD because everybody said it's not worth it for you. The kind of work you do is contact people and then turn them over to other people. So that's my job, So I introduce people to Radhika and different people like that. So we started, and then I was thinking if somebody wants to write a check out, right? What do you write it out to? North American Institute for, that's not going to work. So we did NEOS, so people can write checks out easily, right? It works too. iOS, yeah. And it's been going on. We started in 2004. And so we were involved, so who's guru? We were discussing, today Upendra was talking about, Lord Chaitanya was talking about who is a Mahajan. And then Prabhupada in the purport talks about for the common man, it can be a big businessman, it can be something like that. For the common man, Bill Gates is Mahajan, right? But he was talking about what it really means and so on. So we might be running that, and pretty much, everybody's saying, for the kind of resources you have, and the kind of work you're trying to do, did a good job publishing a certain number of books, organizing conferences and everything else. And so it has good character, good reputation, and the devotees now, I said we can close it down as far as I'm concerned. just did its job and give all the resources to the BRC and different people like that. But pretty much it's been coming back again and again, right? People have been saying, no, we go up and stuff. And okay, so I'm becoming less and less attached. Maybe Dr. Singh is, who's in charge of geriatric psychiatry at the Trust Point Hospital? Yeah, exactly. So this is the point. At what age should you do this? What age should be on? What age should you start turning this stuff over? Yeah.
5 years ago.
Huh?
5 years ago.
Yeah. Prabhupada's saying it 30 years ago. 30 years old, the physical energy is finished, right, in the body, right? He said at 50 years old, the mental energy is finished. And he said maybe you can push it to 55. Yeah. And then you have to start working on intelligence, right? Because that'll survive, So old age forces you to become more intellectual, more intelligent, and when you do stuff, you have to have it, but organized and stuff. You can't just plan ahead little stuff and so on. So it's a very progressive life. So we don't do any. I mean, I do not lead any projects anymore. A couple of them were favoring. This is being guru, being Mahajan. So right now, we're projects that we refuse to get involved. We made movies, right? It's very natural for us, for media. So we finished, to consolidate everything and finish it off, we made 4 movies. You know those? Diary of a Traveling Creature, The Ultimate Trip. Peru, everybody on board, looking for Sita. Our director, Raul Zeballos, you saw him yesterday and stuff. He's a big guy and stuff. He investigates different communities by making movies with them. What a way to discover a community. He's an indigenous person there. He got a PhD in community development for cinema. So we come in contact with him. Okay, I tried different groups. Okay, the Hare Krishnas. Yeah, I'll help you make a movie. We started talking, and then he told Abhiram afterwards, he said it was like different groups. When I came to your guru, it was like God. It was like, unlimited. He said one movie is going to be impossible, at least 4. So Hanuman looking for Sita, the ultimate trip, okay? Everybody on board in Peru. And all the people we know, the big contacts with the United Nations, we interviewed them, everybody else. Radhika showed up, right? So many people. Chaitanya and Subra, yeah? Okay, everybody on board. Then we came to the United States and we did Houston, Richmond, right? You're in that movie, yeah? Boise, and Nashville, Houston is the mango orchard, all the things there. Richmond is, the mango seed, and Boise is the bonsai tree. Yeah, but it was so incredible, the kind of things we were doing. We were interviewing people, and the boys getting involved and making their comments. And we have you guys there. And the movie, GBC people were saying it's incredible because it catches, where we're at, trying to consolidate it and stuff. We've got the money and the power and this material stuff that Ravana got, and we've used it for Krishna, but we've also been developing our families and stuff, and we've got a generation going on too. This is important, yeah. So, at 11 o'clock, all of your keys will vanquish. You won't open the doors anymore, so you gotta keep the time running here, yeah. But I think it's worthwhile, no? Put perspective on this, yeah. Okay, so then that was the second movie. So the second movie was Ravana's Kingdom, and then Raul had this rocket taking off. It was really good working. It was so nice working together. And Pablo Rivas Plazas was our director of photography. You have your director, your actors, and director of photography. That's the contractor who actually takes it and makes it a reality. Trained in Hollywood, unbelievable stuff. And we'd like tell Raul, we can't do that, but you can do this. And so anyway, it was just, we have so much more material, very well stored. We can make at least 5 more movies about Richmond. First time we had the parade, I told him there's too many women. He said, you're right. Because all the ladies dancing. Like that. Yeah. But there's Radhika Raman, the first movie. Then there's his wife and the family in the second movie, and the boys, right? So it's like these things are weaving together, okay? Okay, so we have everybody on board. We're trying to market these things through Neos. The second movie is Ravana's Kingdom, right? Hanuman arriving. The next one is Spain, which is Ravana's palace. And you see, the culture there goes back before Christ. They didn't even know themselves what their local village had. But the mayor took off for the biggest festival of the year and took us on a 2.5-hour tour. They have a self-manifesting virgin. They have the whole history with the Arabs. There were the Arabs, there were Muslims, Jews, and Christians. And all these people murdering people. Brihuega, which is right across the valley from where we are, you can see it like Varsana and Nandagan. They found a thing written hundreds of years ago. It said, in our town, all three of these religions are protected. Okay? And so, yeah, the heart, Hindus. It's like, okay, So it's very interesting how they're integrating and stuff. So that was the third movie in Ravana's kingdom. And the fourth movie was? Yeah, Ashokvan, And then people that were in the first movie showed up. They all came to Spain together talking. We got on the airplane together. We went to India. And everything just kicked in. Sashi, Sashi met us in Bombay. I knew from Sri Damodar, we called the ambassador of Peru. And then they got, oh wow, she wants to come. So she came, and then Gopal Krishna Maharaj had everything but the elephant to receive her. It's her first time in the ISKCON temple. And she was, for her, it was like, wow, this is wonderful. It's like Peru. So, and then Sashi and stuff talking. So she was totally, these Neos people are first class and stuff. And wonderful interview with Sashi. We just got a part of it, his brother. So from there, we're going to go to Calcutta, and we're going to deliver an award from a university in Peru for Dr. Samaresh. It's like 2 years late, stuff. And she says, I have to be there. Well, okay, we'll arrange a hotel. I have that taken care of. So the whole thing in the Asiatic Society, all these people there, and the people delivering the diplomas from Peru. When Hector talks, it's like, he's such a dignified person. He was Secretary of State for Peru for 5 hours. He took the job, 25 hours, then he gave it up. So anyway, we did the whole thing. We finished off. Same tour we're taking this year. We're repeating it. Bombay, Govardhan Eco Village, Bhaktivedanta Research Center hosting us in Calcutta, Ultadanga. How many people have been to the Ultadanga Temple Museum? God, you got to go. They've restored the entire thing. When you walk into Bhaktisiddhanta's room, I mean, you start shaking a little bit. Prabhupada! I mean, you feel, they've done it. They've really captured that. So we took them there. They saw, Delhi, landed in Delhi, metropolis, all this stuff, received by the ambassador. Then in Calcutta, they took them back, to Bhaktisiddhanta's times in Prabhupada. Then we went to Mayapur. And they're used to thinking that, ISKCON is a yoga society, does this and that in South America. There's other yoga societies that have some age to them. But after they all got into their rooms and come out, and these, again, some of the biggest people in Latin American world, the people, they're all meeting and they're in front of part of the temple, right? We met in front of the temple, a new temple, and they're sitting there like, like that, looking at each other. This is not a yoga society. Yeah, and the whole, it was just, they were going back from modern Delhi to 500 years into the Bhadralog people, and then to Mayapur. And then from there, we took them to Manipur. And Manipur, well, we got off the airplane. They had everything but the elephant to receive us, the turban, everything else. And Raoul was just chastising, the whole trip he was chastising me. He said, you should have told me before. I should have got out there first. I should have had this set up. And the devotees who were traveling with us, we paid for all their accommodations if they would just pay for their ticket. So they were all becoming expert at handling the equipment, and Raoul was training them up. And so anyway, they got some of that. Then the Ras Leela, I told him in advance, and so we had 2 cameras going. You can imagine what this is like for a director, being able to film the Rasa Leela with, they got him national awards and the costumes and everything else and so forth, so on. And he was, for him, it was such an experience, Then finally we finished off in Vrindavan and Radhakund, where the air quality index was 185, and I had an infection in my navel, right? And somebody thought it was virus, somebody thought it was bacteria. Then finally they took us to a dermatologist, and the guy said, allergy. As soon as I got on the airplane, within a few hours it disappeared, like that. So I'm allergic to India, yeah. But Vrindavan I could tolerate, but Delhi, boy, just 2 days there, 2 nights, it was just, I'm pitta, right? So anyway, it's my relationship. So finally, when we were ready to leave Vrindavan, we took them to Govardhan, all these places, and Hector Behar, again, they asked me anybody. So we went to see that, what's his name? Padmanabhan. Yeah, he's the current Goswami for Radharaman. And right near the temple, they have a hotel, ashram. So Hanuman Swami is here. I've heard about him. He's here with the filming crew. I want to talk with him. So before everybody left, we went over there real quick, and Abhiram and so many our people, and he showed us all the work he's doing because they have all these old manuscripts. And after seeing the Bhaktivedanta Research Center, they're starting to archive them and doing good work. I mean, just incredible stuff. Then he started showing us his grandfather's diary. Okay, today, Bimal Prasad and myself met with some Brahmins, and as usual, he irritated everybody. He was right, but I had to calm them down. He's just showing us all this stuff where he's like, talking about Bhaktisiddhanta and their relationship. It's very good, but it was exactly like that. Bhaktisiddhanta was like, go out and knock him down, and he was right behind him, trying to, he's a young man, but he's right. Well, he is right, but he could have said it more peacefully, yeah. And meanwhile, Rao's with the whole thing is there. The crew's got it all set up immediately, so the Padmanabhan Goswami was, CNN thing level. So finally, I asked if anybody had any questions, and Abhiram asked if there was a dance tradition in Radharaman. And Padmanabhan Goswami, a little sheepishly said, well, no, we don't have that. We focused on the prasad and the kirtan, okay? And then Hector, I asked him, he's in the Latin American world, he's one of the most powerful scholars there is, many things. He was a revolutionary, everything. So I asked him, do you have any questions? And he said, I haven't got any questions, but I have 2 comments. I've been to India before 2 times on projects with the United Nations about world militarism, world hunger, and India definitely has a perspective that needs to be taken into consideration. But he said, this time I've seen the heart of India. So for us, it was like, God. That's our whole job, right? Finding Sita and communicating this stuff. So for us, it was like, yeah, our life has been successful, okay? Then he said, okay, and he said, the second comment is that in my country, Peru, and he's totally indigenous about this stuff, we've only been able to save maybe 25% of our culture, save it, our indigenous culture, and it's so valuable, He said, but in your country, I'm extremely envious. Not only have you been able to save it, you live it. In my country, I look around and the only representation of animals is McDonald's, right? In your country, I have animals butting me in the rear end, pushing me off the street. Yeah, he said, it's just, looking for a place to retire in India. Yeah. And now whenever in South America, Abhiram says, well, he's sending big people. He said, these Hare Krishnas, they're not fanatical. They're totally confident about what they're doing. They haven't got to convince you or anything else like that. And the second thing is, whatever they do, even though it may seem a little strange, you get to know them, you see it's totally natural. Yeah. So that, Neos, right? Our directors of Neos, we've got a whole heritage of connection, and now it's a matter of how we're going to connect up, that kind of stuff. That's what we've been doing is, myself is kind of like a Shiksha guru, And the Anjana Sudha Academy, that's the whole thing, is I'm not, in ISKCON, people think I'm a Ritvik guru sometimes, or you're kind of a Ritvik, Yeah, because Badri Narayan said, you're one of the few gurus who requires his disciples to think for themselves. Right? Everybody else like do this, yeah. One of the few. But yeah, then they get lost because what happens is they accept Jayapataka Maharaj as a Shiksha guru when I bless them, and he tells them, do this, like that. Yes. Well, Maharaj has this whole, every disciple, he has a spreadsheet, right, for every single disciple. Imagine that, 20,000 entries, and everybody where they're at and stuff, There's a famous picture of myself and Jayapataka Maharaj in South America. He's like 8 feet tall, I'm 4 feet tall. He's dressed in silk, I'm dressed in cotton. And everybody keeps that, One time his disciples and my disciples were fighting in Arequipa about this and that and everything else. He went there, he's trying to solve it all. It's like your dog is barking at a guest, right? You say, friend, Susie, friend, So he's telling everybody, he said, Hanumatpresaka Swami and I are friends. Why can't you be friends? So it's like very interesting relationships. So it's already 10 o'clock. We have 59 minutes before your door keys expire. So any kind of, that's kind of my, I was just trying to offer some perspective, you know, in Guru Puja and Guru and ISKCON and our relationships. I hope that the Mahajan of Nashville and the Mahajan of Richmond have been able to meet each other. Where is the Mahajan of Nashville? Abhishek's here? He had to go. Hey, up here is, yeah, yeah. Divyanam. Yeah, because, yeah, huh? Okay. Yeah. Are you going to go? You're going to go to Richmond, right, Abhishek? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah. No, there's a direct flight.
Yes.
Southwest Airlines. Yeah, yeah. So different things. Here our idea is. Here our idea is. We're not our project. That's Sri and I had arguments over this. You know, but very productive. Very nice. Discussing the whole thing in the perspective and stuff. Very nice. Still going on. My project was just to recommend it. Okay. But he's a man of action. You know. So he's like wants to do it. You know. So okay. So we had a nice discussion. You know, the whole thing in the perspective. They're different kinds of people. So we made a movie. And our perspective is, our recommendation is, Hanuman reports to Ram, okay? Yeah, okay, yeah. That this is a perfect place for a teacher training college, you know, for GBC in North America. Yeah, perfect place. It's also then Murari should be integrated as simple living and high thinking. And they should have a department on the campus, okay? It's our model. What else? The Bhaktivedanta Research Center, they were totally into it. We need a space in North America and South America. We cannot do things in New York. It's too expensive. We would buy into your campus. We keep an office there. And then once every 2 years, we would teach a semester, you know? And we would have summer, you know. So it's like we have a good model, you know, for Nashville. And that's Nashville. 70% of the U.S. population is within 1 hour of Nashville by airplane. Yeah. And what is this, one day travel or something by auto. So many big trucking companies have their nexus here for loading, unloading, and shifting. Yeah. And it has a whole cultural heritage, really strong. For America, it has a very strong cultural heritage. Of course, it goes back to the Civil War. I won't get into it, but you know, as a devotee, you start walking around here and seeing what happened here and stuff, and the honor and the, you know, I mean, really, it's unbelievable. I'm getting into it, but it's unbelievable what happened. I'd like to mention one thing. From this time of the year, what is it, 100 years ago now? 55,000 Union troops came down from the north. How many troops is that? Could you see it outside? 55,000 soldiers with cannons and everything else. And up from the south came 35,000. We're right here. You may have noticed the streets are named Battleground, Northfield. And all those places are there. Their tombs are there, and the memories are there, and the societies. And you go on the tour by the federal government as a devotee. God, it's, you know, you're sensitive, and you can see the holes in the rocks and stuff, you know. Anyway, that's a whole separate program, but it is. It's just, and then these people, their ancestors are there, and the songs are there and stuff. And because you got to reach people not at the physical level, prasadam tastes good. The intellectual level, work it out logically. And the final thing is the bhava. Right, with the change in the heart and the perspective and the attitude and stuff. So, you know, putting on a Ramayana in cooperation with the Thai temple once a year, they get a strong program here. They're being successful. So we put on a Ramayana once a year with them. And then local people, they see the heroism and everything else, and you people are okay. You know, my grandfather died for this and that, you know. So reaching at a Baba level, that's our 5th movie. So we're trying to develop all this. And that's the ISKCON. It's all over the place. We've got projects with good histories, good futures, but we're not connected. And how the GBCs can get involved. And so we're trying to contact the GBC people here and stuff and work here. And this is, you know, Nashville is our home. Houston is our office, right? Okay? I don't know what Peru is. And Chile is where we get it done. Yeah.
Place of worship.
It's sideways society. What did Mother Sachi say? You know, make your headquarters in Jagannath Puri, Navadweep, and just take 2 rooms. That's what I say. How long does it take to fly, get back and forth? 1 hour?
1 hour.
Yeah, 1 hour apart. Get on the airplane in the morning and do a full program. But here is the place where Richmond is where the capital is and everything else. You know, yeah. But this is where not so. Now it's building up fast. The smart money is buying in here, right? Getting your center now. We got in just a little bit too late. And Sri Hari discovered that Murfreesboro was the fastest growing city in the U.S. Right? Yeah, and we kind of got on board just maybe like 1 year. We'd been looking 1 year before. We could have got right in where we needed to be and stuff. So anyway, it's just whatever, Krishna. I go on here forever, but that's kind of our perspective, and then we're trying to act as Shiksha Guru, and now we're trying to develop media resource department in Houston. That's the only thing we're working with pretty much, but we're not leading, but it looks like it very well may happen. And then it would be developed for the whole North America with the Nutama and stuff, as we're trying to talk to people. Yeah. And what else? Okay, yeah, okay, yes, okay. Wait a second here, we gotta, yeah. Wow.
So Maharaj, thank you for giving the overview of all of your life and service of Srila Prabhupada.
As a Mahajan. Okay.
Maharaj, one thing that really highlighted, that really touched is that even though, from very beginning you have covered so many different areas and so many different services and projects, but you always kept this mood that I'm doing it on behalf of Srila Prabhupada. I'm his Siksha Guru, and it's everything is happening through Guru Parampara. Maharaj, just wondering on a practical level, like how to keep this mood always as we get so much involved in the project and so much. So this, feeling of doership sometimes take over, but how to keep that attitude, because that is what really touches others.
So your question includes the problem. How do I remain humble? Well, that's it. No. I mean that's it. Well, how did Indra remain humble? How did he remain humble? Was it something he did? Somebody else gave advice? Krishna came. So Krishna is always the knower, the aggressor, in every situation like that is the first thing. And so so our job usually is to see when Krishna is sending somebody, something's happening, and we know it, and we know we shouldn't do this and that, but we do it anyway. Yeah, that's unfaithful. Faithful means that we know that Krishna is talking to me, know he's doing something. He's saying, hey fella, well, you're a big guy. No, I am. And so our job is usually just to take advantage of the opportunities that Krishna gives us, not to generate them so much, right? And we got some generating potential, we're small, but most of the cases it's just like, accept that, Janivas said, you aren't serving Krishna on the altar, whether your Yashoda's doing it. You're just there, with that attitude to try and help and stuff, and then that attitude's the best thing, So, I mean, you're sure you've had a lot of times where Krishna took you down to size. Right? I remember that after that, it's like, Krishna will do it. But the thing, he does it usually in a funny way or something. Prabhupada Siddhakti says that you cut down people's false egos, but you do it in a way that doesn't hurt them and stuff. So Indra afterwards, come on, it's okay. You try to kill the Brisbasis, but come on, everybody has a bad day. And Indra is the incarnation of Krishna's lusty nature. So he asks all this, passionate stuff is, and Lord Brahma, when he did this stuff, he did very carefully, right? But Krishna wasn't so, because you should have known better. You're not Indra. Okay? Yes. Okay.
And Maharaj, in our journey, it's Miami.
Oh yeah. I remember when you showed Anandana.
Yes.
Are you in touch with him at all?
No, Maharaj.
He's doing really well. He's got into the construction business, and he's got like maybe 3 or 4 different things and teams and going on. He's got a really good marriage relationship and stuff and so on. So he's doing very well. He discovered he's a Jew. As soon as that was like, I was like, wow, okay, yeah. So he's like, now he's like, even got when they had a Jewish initiation. He's initiated as a Catholic, a Hare Krishna, and a Jew. Yeah, so you're doing very well. Yeah, she contacted me. Yeah, yeah.
Is Sam same
Huh?
contact number?
I'll give you a number and stuff. Yeah.
That would be nice.
He's still a chef. Yeah, 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 yeah. No, it was very nice programs. Yeah, yeah. We met again. So anybody else have any? So it says questions and answers and comments, and we are having more on a little bit more about the what do you call it? The web page and Sri Ramakrishna. There you are. Okay, yeah. Let's see anybody else first. And any more questions or comments?
I
Yeah.
have a question.
Okay. Microphone. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When we you mentioned esoteric and the knowledge. When the knowledge is keep increasing, you go more and more, and you try to fit the logic into there, and the bhava is taking second seat or something, and
Yeah.
there is no emotion or anything there.
Or there's bad emotions.
So
Yeah.
how do we really balance, or how do we realize that, okay, stop here, you are digging too deep into it, or you are going nowhere, you are going wrong?
Sound like the same question? Basically the same question. How do we do it? And then the beginning is that we're not, Krishna, the first contamination, okay, the first ahankara, all ahankara does is make you think that you're separate from Krishna. That's all it does. There's no other characteristic. You have a separate existence from Krishna. That's the ahankara. Now at that point, if you want to get out, you can get out. But if you don't, okay, then the next level is the Paramatma then begins to agitate the pradhan, and it becomes prakriti. In the mode of goodness, it becomes bhava, a perspective, attitude. So that's when intelligence comes. So the ahankara in the mode of passion, mode of goodness, is attitude, perspective, this kind of thing. It's in the heart, okay? How I look at things, okay? It's understanding, right? Yeah. In the mode of passion, it starts to become planning and all this kind of stuff that goes into your head. In the mode of ignorance, it becomes the senses and the sense objects. I'm a cat, I'm a dog, I do, yeah. So, Krishna is coming, right? And the first contamination is I think that I am an independent knower, I'm an independent doer, I'm an independent religious guy, I'm going to save myself, right? That's the contamination. But the basic thing is in every single case is Krishna is going to help me, So yeah, Krishna, when you're getting off, what is it? There's this thing that death is God's way of telling you it's time to slow down, right? Yeah. In San Francisco, big posters that says, cocaine is God's way of telling you you're making too much money. Okay. Yeah. And so, you have experiences in your devotional career where, Krishna did that, you rascal, but thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so yeah, Krishna personally attentive. Krishna Guru, Paramatma, personally attentive. And our job is really to look for these things and not become upset by them, become angry. Again, the three obstacles that Hanuman met. The first one was somebody trying to help him. The second one was simply a test. Only the third one was really an obstacle. So many things happening, and then you're looking and see, hey, why? Maybe Krishna's talking to me, and he is talking to me. It says right in the book, okay, yeah. And so then faithful means not blind faith. It means that you apply that which you know. That's what faith means. So Krishna's always going to be sending you information. Now specifically, okay, what is our job in the situation? To surround ourselves with good association, and this is the fence around the creeper. With good association, maintain good association, and to follow the rules and regulations. In the ISKCON movement, the Hare Krishna movement, which two classes of people are most likely to fall down?
Passionate, probably attached too much to their work or something. Attached to the service too much.
Too much of self-knowing, knowing that I know a lot.
There's nobody here for the Bhakti Sarva Brahma diploma today. the pujari and personal servant of the spiritual master. You see why? Yeah, because familiarity breeds contempt. I know Prabhupada, this and that. Yeah. So therefore one should follow all the etiquette involved. Like Prabhupada's servants who did well, every time they came into his room, they would pay obeisances. Like that, Yeah, they just, yeah. So the rules are there, So that's our job, is to understand what the rules are. And the deity worship, okay? Do it properly. Otherwise, I know Krishna, I made this. There are rules, and they have a certain function. Which ones are more important? So, if we're keeping good association and following the standard rules and regulations, yeah, then we've got a good fence around our creeper, and we'll see. If we're coming to class every day, then we're starting to get stupid. We'll read right in Prabhupada's books where, okay, yeah, it's okay, yeah. I got to watch out for that. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Gurudev.
Yes, okay.
Thank you so much for
Okay.
a lot of enlightenment.
He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead Servitor Vyasa. I told you, he sells water in the desert. Can anybody beat that? Even Bill Gates can't beat that, right? Like that, isn't it? And for a spinoff, he sells ice. Okay, try. It's gone. Okay.
With your wonderful things you explained about somewhat a disagreement between disciples of two spiritual master, where you gave an example of His Holiness Swami Maharaj and yourself.
Yeah.
On that, my quick question regarding is that whenever we have special sannyasis or a special guest that are visiting, one thing that always gets involved is writing of the books of that specific personality that comes into the picture, where disciples, or the devotees are saying this is Maharaj's book or this.
Yeah.
So
Was it
somebody?
Yeah, was it Radhanath Swami's book?
Yes.
What is it?
Journey home.
Yeah. I mean, it's like incredible book.
So somebody in preaching in one of the home program.
Yeah.
That is Indian individual who was not a full-time ISKCON devotee, but at the same time attracted by ISKCON philosophy.
Yeah.
He asked me this question. He showed that the stood shelves where Prabhupada's all the books were written.
Yeah.
And then he showed one of the individual book that was written by this individual personality.
Yeah, sannyasi.
And said that, what is your regulation when it comes to reading these individual books compared with the books you yourself? Have all these followers of ISKCON read all the books in the soul itself that they have to go for the third one now here? What is the purpose of this book? So I just wanted to understand from you, we as a followers, how do we adjust ourselves when it comes to a direct writing of Srila Prabhupada and some type of writing done by the individual, disciples of Prabhupada that write books? How do we?
And then there's also Prabhupada's letters, right? Should we read those?
I have not.
Yeah. BBT was collecting them. The Prabhupada never gave the instruction that they should be printed and published and circulated. But Hansaduta, being amoral and everything else, decided all the devotees should have access. So he got copies of them and just started distributing them. And then the BBT almost had to do it, yeah. But then Jayad Vaitamarg, when you go on to look at the database, he has a whole description there, which is very good. So look at the database, the one you buy, and he has a description of the books and stuff and what's in the database. So at least when you start getting to these, because they have, for example, Krishna Dharma's Ramayana and Mahabharata are in there. So the BBT itself, it has books. Prabhupada said books by other people are okay. He wanted a separate press for children's books. He did not want children's books printed by the BBT, and so they started Bala books. Which is good. It's fine, but it's one thing. He made very certain specific things about what he wanted to be in the BBT and not to be there. He said people who have PhD, they can write for BBT, but that's not the only people. Satsvut Maharaj wrote a handbook for universities, and he said, you've included so many demons in your book, on the history of this and that, but it has not spoiled it. It is, a good book. And of course, Srup Damodar, the same thing. So Prabhupada recommended the books, and he was saying all of our disciples should read these, because or else this is for certain people. So certain books, they take Prabhupada's ideas and they put them in, like we did Tava Pache Pache. Damodar Maharaj did Waves of Devotion. And for myself, I've so much easier to understand Waves of Devotion. I mean, Waves of Nectar of Devotion now with his book. There's just so many commentaries about things and perspectives and stuff. It makes it so. Yeah. So if it's allowing us to approach Prabhupada's books and become more enthusiastic to read them and everything else, yeah, it's necessary. One time we were in South America, in Ecuador, and Sunday feast, and one lady, maybe 45 years old, she was saying, "I love your philosophy, your culture. I've been involved for 3 months now, but I have a big problem," right? You know, in your books it says that bread is for satisfying illicit desires. You understand? Latin devotees, yeah. They said, "What do you mean it says bread is for satisfying?" So she pulled out Upadeshamrita, and it says haritaki. What else we got? Opium, heroin, and pan are all for satisfying illicit desires. Yeah. In Spanish, pan is bread. Yeah. You know, so it's a little thing, right? But then we have to, make an adjustment, make a commentary. And you always do and stuff. So it's always there. And whether you write it or not, okay, that's the whole thing. It's in terms of the audience you're dealing with and everything else. That's why we're talking about establishing an archive, for Hanumatpresaka, Swami's stuff. One devotee took over the Jayapataka Swami archives, tape ministry. I knew he was here in town. What was the guy's devotee's name? He was living in Marari. His wife was there. Who's the one devotee? He was Jayapataka Maharaj's tape ministry. His wife was at Marari. And he was living in Mulberry or something. Anyway, this is when he got a copying machine to make copies of the tapes and stuff. And there was something like 1,200 different lectures, and then growing at every moment, and even categorizing them and everything else started to be like useless, whatever. So that, to me, the thing is, just enough. That's a lot of the stuff is spoken at one time. Everything else is okay. That's what it's for, And the other stuff, okay, some stuff it's useful. We have certain perspectives on things which other people don't have, because of our background and everything else and so on, and travels. And so, so then, we were published. For myself, one book is all I wanted to do. And it was kind of like that was enough, So Tava Pachi, and we worked on it a long time. And I think it was Radhika did it. And then the Ministry of Education said it's such a valuable book, It's basically a study guide to Nectar of Instruction for people on the Bhakti by Bhava level, on that level. And it goes into more details and stuff and so on. And what I did, and I mean, for me, it's helped so much. I mean, Nectar of Instruction is like, yeah. So the books are useful, and you have to judge in terms of Prabhupada's books. When you read his books and everything else, then you can understand other things and how they're related, and you can judge people. You can judge other gurus. You can judge their writings and stuff. Yeah, okay. But other than that, Prabhupada's encouraging it from the very beginning to people write articles and and then so on. Yeah. So finally, I think maybe you wanna. You got 10 minutes, right?
Any question from Mataji, sir?
But we're running out of time here. 11 o'clock. How many people are checking out at 11 o'clock? Yeah, so we got to make sure everybody got a chance. So we got...
Yeah, you can bring your stuff here and then do that too.
Yeah.
This is open till 12 o'clock.
Okay, yeah. So I'll be here afterwards, yeah. Yeah, now but make it... How many minutes?
We try to get it done in less than 5 minutes.
Less than 5 minutes? Wow. What's your baud rate going to be? Okay.
On the Pontal room, they extended that up to 12 o'clock.
Wow. Oh, wow. Prati Jalpa, Pradat Radha, and Ambarish Ki Jai. I think I may have to leave now because my battery is dying. Thank you so much for your association. Okay. So you want to turn down the lights? Yeah.
Mataji, turn off the light.
Okay. We're on schedule? Are we on schedule?
We are 15 minutes late, Maharaj.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah.
10 minutes late.
10 minutes late. Yeah. But he's going to do 5 minutes. Abhishek just needs 5 minutes, basically. Yeah. Where you go? Who made this?
My younger son, Maharaj.
Okay, well here's this is for him.
Okay.
I started writing in it.
Oh,
Yeah. And where's Janardhan? You're not Janardhan. Okay, where'd they go? I think they left. Yeah. Looking for Janardhan Das. Yeah. Janardhan. Hare Krishna, looking for Janardhan. Yeah.
Oh, I like you calling Maharaj. Very beautiful.
It never gets old.
I know.
Every single one of these hand knitted.
I know Maharaj. I
Oh,
know.
wow. Oh, okay. I'm trying to find Janardhan Das. 1 second. Okay, we're working on it. Okay, I only have 2 fingers though. Okay. He's gone. Looking for one devotee. Okay. Yeah, the Spanish devotees.
No, he is taking video, right?
Oh, he just left, Maharaj.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, you call him very cold, Maharaj.
Okay.
We can
Yeah.
schedule something next year for Richmond.
Let's talk about it in general dates.
Okay, Maharaj.
But after making this tour, I mean, my body is going to be quite different. But we can talk about, for example, Anantarupa is already blocking out July 4th for Rath Yatra.
Rath Yatra in June.
July 4th in Boise.
Oh,
So I say, okay, let's,
okay.
We'll definitely have a demo later with all the devotees who are interested, but we'll just show how to navigate
want to give this back to Janardhan.
what all we have and what all we need to build.
Spanish
He's coming in
devotee.
5 minutes.
Okay.
He went to
Like I
Rome
said yesterday,
and he's
this
coming
is
in
the,
5 minutes.
Okay.
This is the core of the entire archive. The ASA
Very nice, but the other one I have is better. Really good.
But these are all the thoughts of Guru Maharaj and the Anjana Sutta Academy, and this is where all disciples and all devotees will be directed to know what Guru Maharaj's thoughts are.
Other people
And
too.
you can basically I'm logged in as an archivist or a curator, and as you can see, we have drafts here. We have these are all the published content, and there's like probably 500 to 600 topics. Like I said yesterday, and it needs a lot of editing and curating to be done. So for example, if we want to know what the Anjana Sutta Academy position on the origin of Jiva is, we have all this. But like I said yesterday, we have all these references that needs to be cross-checked. We need typos checked, and also we need to see what topics are missing. There are a lot of topics on the blog that have the ASA Encyclopedia tag. Most of it has already been added here. but we still need to go over them and figure out what's missing. There might be duplicates here. So there's a lot of work involved in getting the ASA encyclopedia right, and we want to do that first and as quickly as possible. Uh, so this is where we need the major lift of help from the volunteers, and once that is done, and if you get more volunteers, you can take this message to your centers, to other devotees, to other disciples, and see if they are interested. We will also try posting this call for help on the blog and on WhatsApp too if Maharaj is willing, and then we'll ask for more help, and then once the ASA encyclopedia is done to a considerable level, then we move on to the videos and audio. Like Guru Maharaj said yesterday, there are probably like 1,000 videos, and what we would like to do is first gather all of them and then figure out which will go into the archive. So which is esoteric, which is exoteric, which needs to go into NEOS, which needs to go into the Anjana Sudha Academy archive. That's a really huge job of collecting and curating the audio and video lectures of Anjana Sudha Academy. So that's probably a service that all the disciples can do, disciple volunteers can do for the next 5 years maybe. So there's so much content with just the audio and video, and then on top of that, we have drawings and pictures which we haven't even started on yet. Maharaj does so many drawings, and a lot of it is posted in Puja. A lot of it was posted on Twitter. When Maharaj was on Twitter, a lot of it is being posted on the WhatsApp group now. So just collecting all the drawings and then collating them by team, and we need to figure out how to categorize them and how to give description on that. That's that is the next step after audio and video, because so many people, especially I was even talking to Panda Vijay Prabhu yesterday and Subal Chaka Prabhu, and then people have difficulty in reaching Guru Maharaj's lectures quickly. So this is a place where we will make it easy for all the disciples and
This is really good. Really good. But the other one's better. Yeah. Okay. I got donated, right? And the other one is identical, but the one I have, but newer. So I kept that. This one hasn't got his. Okay. Somebody else. The same way with that. I have it gives me a headache. So, the two shirts you gave, right? Right? I'm keeping those. These are the shirts. Okay. And the socks we got. Okay. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So you're going over. Okay, so, Aquí, ¿no?
Madre
Oh, yeah.
pidió que le dijera.
Okay. Total love does not. Los de Lima, Se não entonces, oiga, se dirige para ella. Okay, my God. Okay.
I save you from your sins. Those things that destroy people destroy your life. I save you for those people who one of these days are going to die.
Saving people. Okay. Okay. How are you? We have to, because all the electronic, everybody out of their rooms. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yes. Well, I mean, my energy. I have a good doctor. Yeah. I have a good doctor. Upanuga Chaitanya. I know. my doctor killed himself. Yeah. Okay. Oh, ustedes. Okay. Go. Okay. Yeah. I like Mexico. Mexico's nice. Mexico City's a little hard to breathe, but everything else cool. Okay. Okay. We get it. They're going to Mexico City. Okay. I'm going here. You're coming there. Okay, we did it.
Just one more question.
Okay.
Regarding
Yeah.
regarding our Brajraj Krishna Prabhu.
Huh?
So Brajraj Krishna Prabhu, so Maharaj, he's getting very nicely ready for the second initiation.
Yeah. He's steady guy.
And
He's
yeah,
Brahmin.
very.
Yeah.
And wanted to, devote more time
Smell
in
this.
service. Oh.
She must put perfume in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Looking very amazing, Maharaj.
I
How
know.
they did it.
I know.
So Maharaj, what are your?
Well, I think did we write about this? Somebody was writing to me. No.
Yes, Maharaj.
No, but basically, Prabhupada says second initiation is indication from the spiritual master that the disciples' execution have devotional service has fixed him in the mode of goodness. So basically it means, are you getting up in the morning early? And if you see, you don't, aren't arguing with people left and right anymore. You see,
In a very wonderful mood, and
Yeah.
he's doing a very nice sadhana in the morning.
Yeah.
Yes, Maharaj.
I mean, Jayananda, I think he's like an avatar of, Prahlad Maharaj or something, But yeah, second initiation, his Brahmin thread was black from automobile grease, and he said he forgot part of the mantras, Yeah, but he would go 72 hours without eating or sleeping to make sure the Rath Yatra came off. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he was just, yeah. But yeah, he was Shudra. He was a, mechanical engineer and stuff, and just, working that kind of work and stuff. And so, yeah, it's even not appropriate, because if you're taking second initiation, then you've got to set an example, for new people. So he wasn't there in Mangalartik. Why? Because he was going out to the produce market and getting discounts and singing the Gurvastika on the bus with people and stuff, So yeah, you begin to figure out, okay, I'm a Brahmana. Basically my nature is Shudra, Brahmana, Brahmana, Brahmana. So when I'm really feel bad, what do? I do a PowerPoint show. PowerPoint shows, mechanical. Okay, yeah. So yeah, just stay in touch and stuff, and it's fine, yeah.
Okay, Maharaj. So we can arrange when you come to Richmond.
Yeah, we communicate a little bit. We can talk about the thing, and then yeah. Even before it's happening here. Okay. Huh?
It's a time, Maharaj.
Okay.
My phone number, we'll put it up on the website, and then you can reach out to me anytime.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
The hotel's gonna carry us away, lock us all up. Yeah. Wow, incredible. Hare Krishna. Now, a word from our sponsors.
Hare Krishna. So finally, we got the closing word from the Abhishek Prabhu, our president of the US.
Oh,
Yeah. The last announcement is there are a lot of prasadam there. Please take it. So and then also, like I said, they extended the time. If you have anybody